Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be a long one, but it will be a fun one. I'm going to take you guys through the first stage of development with the fragrance that I'm working on with Sarah McCartney from 4160 Tuesdays London. I wanted this entire journey to be documented. I didn't want to just say, here's my GoFundMe or my Indiegogo. Fund it, okay, goodbye, and then come back a few months later and say, here's your fragrance, here you go. I wanted to take you guys through this journey because it is really exciting, it is really fun, and without you guys, this wouldn't have been possible. So I feel it's only fair that you are a part of this journey with me. So earlier today, I got a package from Sarah containing 6 little mini fragrances that are different versions of what I wanted, and this is the first fitting, as Sarah says. So basically I've tried all these, I've tried them on strips, I've tried them on skin, I've worn them for a few hours, I've taken notes, and I'm going to go through each of these and let you guys know what I think. Now I'm going to be very hands-on with the scent as much as I can be in regards to how I want this fragrance to smell. But at the same time, I really want Sarah's point of view and her artistry to shine through. So this is a fragrance that's in my head that I want to smell, but I kind of want Sarah's version of that. You know, it's kind of like if you go to a tattoo artist and you're like, I have a dream of a unicorn eating a donut on a rainbow in Ireland, and you know, you draw it and you sketch it out and it's obviously like not that good. The tattoo artist can turn it into something absolutely exquisite. And that's kind of like what I want Sarah to do. I want her to take my idea, my prompt, how in my head I want this to envision, and I want her to create it a reality with her artistry and with her experience and with her talent. That's why I wanted Sarah to do this. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys and share that experience, but also know that I'm going to be hands-on with this as well. If there's something I want a little bit more of or a little bit less of, I'm also going to be hands-on with that too. Anyway, I feel like I've been talking way too much. Let's get into the fragrances. All right, so the first one right here, she codenamed them all Tiger. So we have Tiger 1 through 6. I just recently sprayed my finger with this one because this is the only one that I kind of forgot how it smelled because it was the first one that I tried and I didn't take good notes with this one. So if you guys didn't know what this fragrance is supposed to smell like, it is supposed to be a leather and jasmine dominant scent, specifically jasmine. But the jasmine, I wanted it to be kind of grungier. Sarah described it as a dirtier jasmine, a little bit drier, and that will pair more beautifully with the leather. And I wanted it to have a really bright, kind of juicy opening. So think of that. And it's going to be a unisex scent as well. I mean, all fragrance is genderless, but it's going to be designed and composed as if you were to market it as a unisex scent. So the first one right here, as I smell my hand all weirdly, is one of the scents that I think is a fantastic interpretation of a outline of how I want this scent to be. It smells a little bit smoky, and when I'm talking about smoky with this fragrances, you know, you have smoked woods, smoky woods, you know, burning fire. The smoky in this is kind of more of like a rich, I don't want to say it's barbecue sauce because that sounds negative, but it's kind of like that type of smoke, like a savory smoked. So the smokiness and the leather are really coming together, and it's really just absolutely unique and beautiful. It smells so good. And so when I say it smells smoked, that's the smoked I'm talking about. And this has like a very light version of that. You get the dry jasmine in there, which is really nice, and there's just a little breath of spices in there, which I think really set the stage for a beautiful scent. So this is pretty much the outline of what I would want from this scent. I definitely think there could be more done to it, but that's the point of Sarah sending me these and us going back and forth. These were not designed to be like the final stage. Unless I absolutely love something, then that makes our life so much easier. But this is definitely a fantastic start. I've been wearing these all morning and it's been really hot. So far the longevity in all of these has been great. I don't know if you guys can see, but initially when I was spraying them, I kind of like marked my hand with numbers where each of them were worn. And I had them on strips and I took notes, but this one is a great starting off point. So this smells smoky. You get that beautiful kind of dirty jasmine in there, and the spices in there are really nice. The smokiness is a little bit sweet and savory, but at the same time you can really pick out the jasmine in there. It's really, really nice. This is a great starting off point for the scent. The second one is a little different, and this is probably the one that, although I love the way this smells, this is the farthest from what I would want this scent to be. So I will definitely wear this scent and love this scent because I think it's gorgeous, but this one smells a little bit more cool. Think, that's what I'm thinking of. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Viking from Creed. Not that it smells like Viking, because it doesn't, but along those lines of crisp, cool waters. It's not like a damp scent or a moist scent. It's definitely dry, but there's something else in this that is kind of taking over, and it kind of eclipses the jasmine and the leather. It's a really nice wearable scent, and it smells really good on. Really good on. And actually, like in the opening of this, it smells like it has like a minty kind of menthol, crisp, bright opening. So the opening of this is really nice. It's very aromatic, it's very wearable, it's very beautiful, but it's the one that I think strays from what I want the most, but it's still really nice. So I like it, but it's not what I want for this scent. So 2 is going to be worn by me, but will not have any bearing on deciding which one of these I want, like which one do I like more than the others. That's the one that fits what I want from the scent the least. Now 3 is kind of interesting right here, because 3 to me is a mix of 1 and 2. So it's got that kind of really nice, bright, crisp, aromatic opening, and it's got less of that kind of like cool woods and a little bit more smokiness, and it's a little bit crisper and lighter. So I actually really love 3. It's probably one of my favorites from all 6, but because it does have aspects of 2, I think that this would be one that I would stay away from. It's a little bit tamer as well. That's what I would say about 1. It's a little bit tamer, as Sarah said, which I thought was so cute. She says some of these are more kitten than tiger. So I would say 1 is a little bit kitten, and I would say 3 is a little kitten. A little kitten. So the next 3, the last 3, so 4, 5, and 6 are where we're really going into what I want from these scents. So 4 is actually the first one I tried on my skin. I sprayed them all in strips. I smelled them on the opening, I smelled them when they dried down, and 4 was the one that I was like, this is the closest to what I want on a strip, and so I sprayed it on my skin. Now on my skin it opened up a little bit abrasively, and not in like a bad way, it was just strong. And I was like, when I tried this one first, I was like, oh wow, this is really intense. And as it dried down on my skin, it kind of smoothed out a little bit. And that's one thing I kind of want to talk to you guys about too real quickly before I get into the others. Never judge a fragrance by its opening, because openings are so fleeting. If you go to a store and you spray something on your hand and you don't like the opening, sometimes it could be the compounds that the fragrances are mixed in, it could be your body chemistry, maybe there's other smells around you and it's just kind of like mixing and doesn't smell right. You always want to wait for a fragrance to dry down. I usually say wait 15 to 20 minutes, or sometimes 5. So for me, if I'm interested in purchasing something, I'll spray it on my skin and I'll walk around a little bit, or I'll stay at the fragrance counter and talk for an hour or 2 hours, because that's what I do when I go to fragrance counters, and then I will smell it and decide, unless I have experience with the fragrance and things like that. So the opening of this was probably out of all of them, which was a little bit harder for me to wrap my nose around. It wasn't a bad opening, it was just an intense opening. But this is one of them that dried down into something that was way, way close to what I'm looking for. So this one has I sprayed myself like an hour ago. It has this kind of cedar-like note to it. And I'm not saying that it is cedar, but there is a woodsy note in here that kind of reminds me of cedar, kind of like that pencil shavings, which I think pairs really nice with the leather and the jasmine. It's a little less smoky than I would like. There's a little less leather than I would like in this, but the opening and when it dries down to this is really quite lovely. There's a little bit of an aromatic sweetness in the background too from the spices that I think makes this one of the standouts from the 6. I think that if you guys were to smell this in the opening from the sample, you would be like, oh my goodness, what is this? Because it is such a strong opening. But the dry down is really where this fragrance turns into something really special. And this is along the lines of where I want this fragrance to go. So this is like number 2. Now, so far, the closest in regards to, 1 is like a fantastic starting off point. 4 is pretty dang close. The one that kind of pushes it a little bit more out of people's comfort zones, I think, but is really fantastic is number 5. So number 5 to me has more of the leather, more of the smoke, and a little bit of a rounded sweetness to it. Just a little bit, just a touch of it, and I really like that. I think it might overpower the jasmine a little too much, so this would one that would have to be tweaked, but I think that this is like a great outline of how I would like this fragrance to smell. You've got the jasmine, you've got the smoke, you've got the leather, you've got a really beautiful opening. There's something uniquely bizarre about this scent, but in a really wearable way. I know I'm talking up the scent great. And it's daring and it's bold, but it's still wearable. So 5 and 4 are practically, I would say, tied between like 1 and 2 for the ones that are closest to what I'm looking for. They're not there yet, but they are really close. 6 to me is kind of like 2. I think that this one is not what I'm looking for in this scent, but is really, really nice. So like 2 is kind of more of a kind of slightly minty, mentholy, bright, crisp opening that smelled slightly woodsy. There's something about it that smelled really familiar. 6 is the opposite. It smells more woody, more leather, sweeter, a little bit rounder. It doesn't smell as dry as I would want it, and that's one of the things I'd have to say against it. It doesn't have that bright opening that I want, and the jasmine in this is probably one of the most muted. And she's using a lot of jasmine in this. She's using as much as legally she can. So the fact that she is using jasmine, and it's such a beautiful jasmine, it needs to be there. It needs to be present in the scent. And I think in this one and in 2 it's not present, which is why they don't really fit this scent. But this one smells, again, smoky. The leather is really fantastic in this scent, and it's just rounded and sweet. It's really sexy. This is actually a really sexy scent. And it's one of my favorites from the lineup, but again, it doesn't fit how I would want this scent. So I'd have to say, if you didn't tell, the winners from this round, the closest to what I want this scent to be, would be 4 and 5. I need a little bit more indies, and Sarah knows that. She's like, be real, we need to make this perfect. She's super on board, but these are like starting off points and bases. So far, 4 and 5 are definitely like, I'd say 30% there. There's definitely things I'd want to tweak and add and tone down. But overall, like and I was wondering what Sarah was going to do, because when I talked to her about this prompt and I was saying, this is what I want it to smell like, this is the kind of a feeling I'm going for, this is, what I want it to really kind of encompass as a fragrance. She already in her mind had it turning, and she's like, oh, I'm already getting ideas. And so I was really excited to see what her ideas were and what her starting off point was. And I must say that I'm really impressed. even the ones that don't fit the prompt. And she even said some of these are, you know, probably aren't what you're looking for, but I kind of wanted to play with this and I wanted to play with this. And I love that. Even the ones that don't fit what I'd want are still beautiful sets. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what's going to happen as we move forward. Now, I've only worn these for a day, so this is kind of like my first impressions of these 6 cents. I'm going to wear them for at least 3 or 4 days. I'm going to take notes on them. I'm going to talk with Sarah, and then we're going to move forward with the next batch until we get it perfect. So this is an exciting first step, and I kind of wanted to describe each of these with you and let you guys know about them and know about the process. But overall, I'm really excited and very pleased and impressed with the ones that she sent me, and I'm really looking forward to moving forward. So that's it, guys. That's today's video. I figured I'd take you on this little first impressions journey. I hope you guys like these videos. I know a lot of you guys come to my channel for reviews and lists and things like that, but since you guys made this entire process possible, I thought you would really like to come along for the ride. So I'm going to be updating you guys as frequently as possible in regards to this project. A humongous thank you to Sarah again for taking her time and just creating some beautiful things to get this project off the ground and get the fragrance rolling. They're really fantastic. I smell amazing right now, and I'm really excited to bring you guys more updates as this project moves forward. And again, thank you guys for letting this be possible. I will link the original videos talking about this project below if you guys want to learn more about the process, why we did Indiegogo, and also the charity that the profits from this will be going towards. And at the same time, guys, I will also link the campaign below if you've not supported it and you want to learn more. I talk in depth, or I have it written if you don't want to listen to my weird voice. You can read about it, and if you are so inclined to support, I would love you guys to be a part of this and to help this fragrance get off the ground and give more money to the kitties. In any case, guys, I thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!